Good morning, guys. Welcome to math class. We're in math lesson 86. This is pages 171 to 172 in your book or on your pages. So it looks like that with that butterfly, and here's what the back looks like. All right, go ahead and pause your video and go grab that if you don't already have that out in front of you. Okay, today we're just continuing to review when you convert. So we are continuing to convert our measures. Now this again, it's different from the example that's in your book. The way that I do it is actually a little simpler than the way your book teaches you. And it's something that's gonna help you when you get to your other math. But before we get there, let's review our Roman numerals and then we'll continue on with our review of conversions. So which Roman numeral is this? 1, very good. So just the I is 1. How about if you have 2 I's? 2, very good. 3 I's? 3, nice and easy. Okay, well now we have a V, which we know is what? 5, very good. And we have an I right in front of it. Well, when you have a bigger number, and in front of it is a smaller number, remember you subtract that smaller number. So 5 minus 1 is 4. Very good. And we already talked about V is 5. Good. Okay, now we have V and we have a smaller number after it. Well, now what do we do? Well, since we're going this way, we add it. V plus 1 is 5 plus 1 is 6. Good job. So we do the same thing here. 5 plus 2 is 7. 5 plus 3 is 8. Ooh, now we have a bigger number. What is the X? 10. Good job. It's 10. So we have 10. And then we have a 1 in front of it. So it's 10 minus 1 is 9. Very good. All right. We will continue working on our Roman numerals. And in fact, you have them in your lesson today. But now let's go and focus on our conversions. Conversions are when we want to change. We want to cambiar from one tipo de unidades a un otro tipo. So here I have 9 yards equals how many feet? So I want to change. I want to cambiar from my 9 yards to my feet. So I set it up like this. Remember, do the work exactly like I'm doing it on the board. First, you write what you are starting with. Estamos empezando con 9 yardas. Then you draw a línea and you put what you're changing to. Estamos cambiando a pies. Okay? De qué? De yardas. So the yardas we put abajo de esta línea. Okay, aquí vamos a poner our conversion factor. We will put our conversion factor. So how are feet and yards related? How many feet are in a yard? 3. So we have 3 feet in 1 yard. Since the number that's bigger than 1 is on the top, that means we multiply. So we have 9 times 3 is 27. Very good. Now that's your example. Let's look at number 1, and we're going to do all of number 1 together. I'm only going to give you the answer to letter A, which is this one right here. But letters B and C, you're going to have to finish on your own, okay? So let's start. 2 gallons equals how many quarts? We start with our original unit, 2 gallons. Next, draw your línea. What are we going to? We're changing to quarts. What are we changing from? we're changing from gallons. So gallons on the bottom. Now what's our conversion factor for quarts and gallons? What's our conversion factor for quarts and gallons? I don't see it really quickly right here for me to show you. Hopefully you can shout that out to me. It is, there are 4 quarts in a gallon. Very good. 4 quarts in 1 gallon. Since I have the number that's greater than 1 on the top, do I multiply or divide? Multiply. Excellent. 2 times 4 is 8. So it's 8 quarts. All right, let's go to letter B. Oh, by the way, in your book where you have the numbers and everything on the side, so you see how you have, without showing you too much, so you have those numbers there? You can just draw a line, cross them out, because you don't need them. Just use the espacio to escribir su trabajo, okay? Su trabajo necesita look like this. Ese es su trabajo. Okay, letter B. 14 days equals how many weeks? Well, we know we're starting with 14 days. Y vamos a cambiar. Oops. So we're going to draw our línea. We are changing to weeks from days. Okay, what's our conversion factor for weeks and days? There are 7 days in 1 week. Very good. Now this time, my number that's greater than 1 is on the bottom. So do I multiply or divide? I divide. Very good. 14 divided by 7 is what? And put the answer in the blank. All right, and our last one is 12 feet equals how many yards? Well, I'm changing from 12 feet. Draw my line. I'm going to change to yards. And I'm changing from feet. What's my conversion factor for yards and feet? There are 3 feet in 1 yard. Now, because my number that's greater than 1 is on the bottom, what do? I divide. Very good. So 12 divided by 3, put the answer in the blank. All right, look at number 2. You have some story problems. Before we do, I want you to look at the picture down at the bottom. You see a type of butterfly there, and it tells us a little bit about that butterfly. The great egg fly is an unusual butterfly because she guards the leaves where she lays her eggs. So the egg fly is una guardia de la hoja en que ella tiene sus huevos. So interesante, huh? Okay. Letter A. At one time, only 22 California condors were known to exist. This is a type of bird. Today, there are 446. How many more California condors are there now? Okay, so what does the story problem tell us? That there used to be only 22 California condors. Now there are 446. How many more than there used to be? Well, remember when you see that how many more, that means subtract. So we put our larger number on top, which is 446, and we subtract our smaller number. And that will tell us how many condors there are today. So put that in workspace A. Let's look at letter B. Diana and her family visited the insectarium at the zoo. So that would be a place where they have insects There's an insectarium at Goombalimba, I believe. They saw 2,956 leafcutter ants. They saw 210 great egg flies and 166 blue morpho butterflies. How many of these insects are there all together? Okay, all together, what does that mean? It means add. So you want to add 2,956 plus 210 plus 166. So when you put that in your workspace, be careful. You have your 2,956 plus 210 plus 166. Make sure that these last numbers all line up. Only the 2 here should be sticking out. You don't write it like this. Nope, incorrect. You have to write it starting back here. Because these are all in the ones place, these are all in the tens place, these are all in the hundreds place, and only this number has a thousands place. Okay, add those up in your workspace, and that tells you the number of insects. Okay, turn your paper over. Number 3 says follow the signs. Number 4 says divide and check. Number 5 says write Roman numerals 1 through 10. So if you need to go back and look at the review we did in the beginning of our lesson, you can do that to help you write those numbers. But try to write them from memory first. Number 6, solve the equation. Let's do this together. N plus 6 equals 9 times 5. Well, we start out with what we know we can do, which is 9 times 5. What is 9 times 5? $45, very good. Now I want to get N by itself. So to get N by itself, I have to do the opposite of what I'm doing to N. I'm adding 6 to N, so the opposite is to subtract 6 from N. 6 minus 6 is 0, so I just have N left. 45 minus 6, well, I borrow from my 4, that gives me 3. I bring the 1 over. 15 minus 6 is 9. 3 minus 0 is 3. So N equals 39. Now I need to check and see if this is correct. So I will put my 39 where my N used to be. Now I don't have enough room to keep writing it below, but you will in your things. So 39 plus 6 equals 9 times 5. 39 plus 6 is 45. 9 times 5 is 45. So this checks out. This is the right answer. Okay, now let's take a quick peek at the rest of your directions. Number 7 says follow the signs. So you need to add or subtract in the ones place first. Don't forget to borrow if you need to. Then go to the tens place. Number 8 says color the same amount and write the fraction. So let's see, letter A is 2/3. So you have 2 of your 3 pieces that you color, 2 of 3. Well, now where you have the other circle, you need to color so that it has the same shape. So you have the same amount colored. And then tell me how many pieces are colored out of how many total pieces. You have 6 total pieces. So 6 is going to be on the bottom. How many pieces have you colored? Put that on the top. Same thing with letter B. You have 4/8. So 4 pieces are going to be colored out of 8. Color the same amount for letter B so that it's the same size shape, but you have a different number of pieces colored. There's 4 total, so that goes on the bottom. How many pieces did you color so it's the same amount as in the first part? Let me know if you need a separate help with this. Okay, and then the brain booster, count each of the squares. But notice where you have your triangles, those are only halves. So you have to count it as a half. 1/2 plus another half is 1. Then this half plus this half is also 1. Okay, so count it like that. All right, have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next lesson. Bye.